is the Burris Fastfire4, a multi-reticle micro red dot that offers perhaps the most options in reticles. Let's find out in this video. Let me start with a quick unboxing, and then let's just see the contents of the box. This is the Burris Fastfire4. It is a micro reflex sight with a Doctor footprint / vortex footprint, but it also comes pre-installed with a Picatinny to Doctor mount, which allows you to attach this to your rifle, shotgun, or really anything with a Picatinny rail. And of course, if you have a different type of firearm that doesn't have a Doctor cut, you can always attach this to an adapter plate. Now, what makes this particular red dot reflex sight different? Well, starting with, it has an enlarged front or objective window or / lens, and that effectively gives you a much wider eye box than those with standard size lenses. And also, you can't really see it very clearly here, but the red dot has an automatic adjustment for brightness. There's a little dot in the front is actually a light sensor, and you can see it got brighter for a second. I'm gonna jink it with a little bit of a light in the front, but you can see it got really super bright, and then when I take that away, it automatically dims. So you can also adjust the brightness manually by pressing this left side button to cycle through the different brightness settings. And on the right side, it has a button to change the reticle style. It has 4 different styles, and I know it's a little hard to see what that reticle looks like here, but it has a 3 MOA dot all the way up to a 40 MOA circle and dot. But we'll take a look at the reticles in a bit after we can adjust the focus on the camera. But it is powered by a single 1632 coin battery, which is accessible through the top, which is handy, so you don't have to take off the unit to change the battery. It comes with a tool, though you could use any flathead or a coin to just take that out to switch out the battery, but you won't be changing it out very often because it has a 26,000 hour runtime on medium brightness with just a fresh coin battery. So that's roughly 3 years. So yeah, it'll be a bit before you have to change it. But this tool also has a small flathead on the other side. So let's take a listen to our adjustments for that dot, starting with our elevation. Okay, tactile positive and audible, and each click is 1 MOA, by the way. And let's listen to our windage. Okay, completely silent and not very tactile positive. I think I can feel some indexing, but it's very light. So you'll have to go with your visual cues in terms of the position of your slot versus your cardinal points that they've printed on the outside there. So those are some of the key features of this. Oh, one more. It does come with what they call a weather hood, and you can attach it there, and it's got 2 holes for set screws, and it does come with it so that you can lock that cover in, and it does have a rear plexi so that you effectively convert your micro reflex Fastfire4 into an enclosed emitter red dot. So that is really cool. Cool feature, though it does mean that you can't access your elevation adjustments anymore, at least until you take this off again. So there you go. Well, let's get this mounted up and take a look at those reticles next. Before we get started with the test, I'd just like to take a quick break here to talk about this episode's sponsor, Aura. For the cost of just a VPN, I'm getting a whole suite of security services, including $1 million in identity theft insurance, and they're even removing me from those damn data broker listings. Use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you can try them for 14 days, free. And if you use that link, you're helping to support this channel. You know, identity fraud is a real thing, and with AI, it's all too easy to spoof your identity. That's why you should try out Aura. Alright, let's get back to the tests. I mounted the Fastfire onto my Glock and took it out to the gun range so we could take a look at the reticles on a target. This is the 3 MOA dot on our target 10 yards away, and this is the 11 MOA dot superimposed on top of it. And this is the 50 MOA circle dot, And finally, the 50 MOA wing circle reticle that I like to call the Pokeball. I ran through about 4 or 5 mags doing corner target drills, and the red dot ran without issue. I tried the various reticles and actually found the circle dot to be very useful in bracketing an 8-inch target from 10 yards away. I'd like to thank Burris for sending out the Fastfire4 for me to test, and this little micro red dot has some unique features. That enclosure you could add onto this, well, if you've ever gotten even a little bit of dirt or mud or even just rain and drizzle on the inside lens of a reflex sight, you know, that could just make it useless. So having an enclosed red dot makes this a practical red dot for a hunting gun. And I like that this has 4 different reticle options, and that's more than any other micro red dot that I'm aware of. If there is a maker model out there that has more reticles, please let me know in the comments. But I found even the reticles that were designed for shotgun were also useful for pistol. That 11 MOA dot, well, that's great for new shooters who need a little help, you know, finding their red dot when presenting. But this is not without its faults. It doesn't have motion activation, i.e. shake awake, because it automatically turns itself off after 8 hours of use to conserve battery life. So you do have to turn it on every time, which excludes me from recommending this for any sort of defensive pistol, whether it's a bedside or concealed carry. But, you know, that is a non-issue for competition shooters because you're going to be checking out your gear and turning this on before starting your match anyway, or at least you should. And this does have a low battery indicator. The reticle will flash when the battery gets low, so just to warn you that you need to change it out. But this has a rated runtime of 26,000 hours between battery replacements, so that's almost 3 years, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. One other pet peeve I have about this is that the lens front, it bulges out a bit, and inevitably when I rack the slide and use this, well, I'd leave palm prints on the front of the lens, which is kind of annoying. If they would have just designed the frame to have just a little bit more of a lip on the front, that would have helped keep my grubby handprints off this thing. And I kind of wish this was just a little bit cheaper. With a street price of about $370-ish, yeah, it's a little bit on the pricey side, but it has features that you won't find in any of the red dots, so it's worth it. And if you're interested in picking one up, I'll include product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. You'll find a link to that article in this video's description. Use the links and you're helping to support this channel. And of course, you could always help by simply hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell buttons. That's absolutely free. You don't ever get charged for subscribing to my channel. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Moondog, out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.